Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming. And before we get in today's video, I just want to get a minute of your time just to let you know that we at the channel are now offering memberships for as little as 99 pence a month. Now, obviously, it's optional. You don't have to. We're going to carry on making content regardless if anyone supports. But if you would like to support the channel, all proceeds will be used towards giveaways on the channel moving forward. So if you do, there's a link in the video description below. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, let's talk about another thing that we've got going on the channel before we get into today's video, and that is our Facebook group. It's growing steadily, slowly, but with great content, great people, and we talk about retro gaming, modern gaming, deals of the day, all kinds of stuff. It's a great, safe environment for people to come and talk about hobby that we all know and love. Again, there will be a link for that in the video bio below. So yeah, I'll see you on over there. But for now, let's get into today's video. CEX Uxbridge. Look who's back.
Couldn't resist.
We are down in Uxbridge today. We're going to check out the local CEX. We've got a Sports Direct here as well. We're going to pop in, see if they've got their own version of the game. Let's see what they've got in there. And I don't know, maybe they've got cash converters. Let's check it out anyway. We'll see what we pick up today. See you on the other side. I have not been in this area, Uxbridge, for about 25 years, something like that. So yeah, no idea what to expect. We've got a game in the Sports Direct, so we're going to check that one out. Expectations are low, it's game after all, but you never know, you might find something. So yeah, let's have a look at it. Found anywhere? What is it?
It's just a poster, right?
So let me quickly show you here. So what you see here is game in Ruislip. Oh, you look really impressed. You look in awe of what we've seen. Look at that, that's a really forced smile on Kirby's part. He really don't want to be here. It's like, please buy me. Sorry mate, not today. Absolutely shocking. Even the escalators are not working at game. That tells you everything you need to know. They're saving money even on electricity now. Well, just got stopped by the staff because they thought he was a thief, but in order to thieve something, you'd actually have to have something in stock, wouldn't they?
I think the really sad thing is that there was a physical game here at one point that should have been like thriving or flourishing, and now there's not, and now you have that, and that's the state of the
And you've got them saying that, you know, we've always been stealing Nintendo Switch Pokemon covers.
My work pass, my work pass is always in my bag.
Alright mate, it's alright, we're on camera, you can tell me what you start once I take the camera off. Show me what you got.
We'll do that in the pickups.
Alright, yeah. Right, so anyway, let's get rid of that memory of game that we just got. That was absolutely the worst game I think I've ever seen. And that's saying something because of the state of that franchise right now. So let's check out what the Uxbridge CEX has got to offer. And what I will tell you is that the window has got some absolutely fantastic stuff. So make sure you at least stay tuned to what I'm about to show you here. Not many shop windows of CEXs I've ever seen that have got this much quality stuff just in the window. It's a great way to entice people in. And I was worried that that would be the only kind of decent stock that they would have, and it was all kind of compacted into the window. That wasn't to be the case, as you will see when we go inside. It was definitely a really good CEX, but yeah, we'll get into that more as we go inside. But as you can see here, some really good items already, and as we get to the bottom, you're going to see some really good retro stuff from NES games to Dreamcast games. So yeah, have a look and let me know if there's anything you would have picked up on the day. Now there's Baroque. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right on the PlayStation 2. Pretty big hitter at 140. I don't think it's my kind of game, so it's not something that I'm aiming to purchase. But it was in really good condition, I must say, and it's not a game you see too often when you're in CEX. I can totally see why a game like that is in the window. But look here, we've got a really good selection of Dreamcast stuff as well. Most of it looked to be in really good condition. Unfortunately, nothing I was really after. As you can see here, look at this. We've got Snake's Revenge on the NES. Not a great game, but I don't see that too often. A couple of Sega Saturn games as well, very common ones. And then we've got some N64. We've got some loose N64 as well. As I've said, there's some really, really good stuff in this window. I was, like I said, hoping that this isn't all that was going to be on offer, and you'll soon see that that definitely wasn't the case. Yeah, really, really unexpected start to this visit to Uxbridge CEX. And do you know what? I don't even think I knew that Total Carnage was a thing on the Game Boy. How on earth? I'm going to go home and check that out. How on earth does that game even manage to run on a Game Boy? Absolutely, like it says, it is Total Carnage. We've got Probotector there on the NES. Again, some Super Nintendo goodness as well. Like I said, there's some really, really good stuff in here. We've got a Game Boy player there with the disc. Not often you see it with the disc. Seems to be the thing that actually rises the price mostly in that Game Boy player. If you find it with the disc, yeah, the price will be significantly higher. Now, a pretty good selection of PlayStation 1 stuff as well here. Nothing outrageous, but definitely some good stuff.
Look at the size of that fight stick. That's what she said. I wished.
Right, dad jokes aside, let's get inside and check out what we've got. So the first thing I walk into is the PlayStation 3 section. So might as well start here. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind adding a couple of PlayStation 3 games. I was looking at my collection the other day, counting the numbers, and it was at 99. So I need one PlayStation 3 game to make it up to 100. Now, I know it's not a great amount of PlayStation 3 games, but in all honesty, I've got pretty much most of the stuff that I want, which is why I'm struggling to make it up to the 100. Now, for a moment, I was tempted to pick up this Eco and Shadow of the Colossus on the HD collections for the PlayStation 3, but I've got them on PlayStation 2, and I wanted to buy some games today that I don't already own in some way, shape or form. I might regret that down the line because I don't see that one too often, but yeah, it's one of those things. I haven't really played much of them on the PlayStation 2. Shadow of the Colossus I have, but Eco or Ico, however it's pronounced, I've not even touched that game, so yeah, it probably wouldn't have been a worthwhile purchase for me today. So as I'm filming the PlayStation 3 section, I've got to send a shout out to the man on the crutches that says I was blocking everyone. I wasn't. I always take the utmost care when I'm in shops filming to make sure that I don't obstruct anyone. But this guy just wanted to seem, it just seemed like he wanted to have a go at me for some reason or another. He needed all the room in the world to be able to get past me, and he did have all the room in the world. I think he just wanted to make a cameo. Unlucky, pal. I won't get you in on the camera. Anyway, forget that guy. This is one you don't see too often on the 360. Now, in all honesty, it's not really my kind of game. It's RPG based, it appears. So it's not going to be something I pick up, but it's just something that I wanted to show you guys. There's a lot of games that I saw here today in really good condition as well that you don't see too often in other CEXs. So, like I said, this was a real pleasant surprise to come down to this particular branch. Although, yes, it's got all the stuff that you see on a regular basis in other CEXs, there was lots to mix it up and make it seem like a worthwhile trip, shall we say. Now, a really good Xbox 360 selection. I have to say that. There's a lot of games here that I don't see on other shelves when I go to CEX branches. Unfortunately, a lot of them are games that I've either already picked up or I just have no interest in. But as always, it's one of the reasons I like to go to these shops to show you what's on offer in a particular branch. You may take advantage of that. And I hope you do if you see anything here today. But yeah, it was a real nice change to see a couple of games on the 360 that you don't see elsewhere. Now, the Xbox One Series X type games, I'm almost at the stage where I'm probably going to stop filming these things because it's getting kind of boring now. I shouldn't really say that. I don't want you guys to switch off all of a sudden, but stick with me. The system itself doesn't seem to be getting as many releases as its counterpart in the PlayStation 5. And what it does have is a lot of fodder out there, and everyone will determine fodder differently. But I'm just determining it here as sort of run-of-the-mill games that get released on every system. It doesn't seem to have anything unique towards the system. And that's one of the major weaknesses towards the brand at the moment. I've got an Xbox Series X. I enjoy it, to be honest with you, but at this stage of my collecting journey, there's no real incentive to carry on with it. It's only deals like this where you see Alan Wake 2 at a much cheaper price than it would be on the PlayStation 5 that kind of make it worthwhile to have such a system. Other than that, and Game Pass, I don't know. I worry for Xbox's future. I'm sure they have a strategy, a long-term strategy that they see beating Sony or whatever it may be. But at the moment, it's not looking good. Solid selection on the OG Xbox, and some of the cover art I have noticed on the OG Xbox is like AI before AI existed. Look at this, for example, Rogue City or Rogue Cops or whatever, a game I'm not too familiar with, to be honest with. But yeah, some terrible artwork came out on the OG Xbox for some of their exclusive games. Now, here's something I've been looking for some time, and they've got two copies here. It's the Back 4 Blood Steelbook. Now, I bought that upon release, finished the game. I wasn't too enamored with the game itself. It was a bit of a letdown when it was kind of meant to be a spiritual sequel to Left 4 Dead. And I've kind of regretted letting go of the Steelbook. I always liked it. So I'm going to have a look at what kind of condition those two are in. They've got two, so obviously I've got a bit of choice here. Let's hope that at least one of them is in really good condition, because at £6, I wouldn't mind bringing that one back into the collection. Now, there was a PlayStation 4 game that I was looking for here today. I checked the app. I do know they had a few copies in stock. I've just recently collected a subset for the PS2 of a series of games that I wanted to play through. And that was the Jak and Daxter collection. And that made me think about other games, similar franchises, that I haven't really put much time into over the years, if any. And I came up with one, and I'm going to start, hopefully, collecting that subset today. You'll probably see the game as we float around the PS4 section here. But if I do manage to pick up a copy and the cover is in nice condition, it's not a reprint, etc., you'll see it today at the end when I show you the pickups. What I will say is, over the last 30 seconds, I have indeed scanned over that game as I'm showing you what's in stock. So I'll let you try and have a guess as to what the collection is that I'll be collecting for. Let me know in the comments if you guessed right when I show you the pickups at the end of the video. Now it's crazy, we're already seeing some Switch 2 stuff in CEX's Joy-Cons to consoles to accessories, although I've been led to believe that the accessories that you're seeing are being brought in pretty much brand new by the owner of the franchise itself. They're not necessarily trade-ins, so it's not as worrying as you might think. I've got some regret over this one, this PS2 game. I was offered to buy it around about £90 a few months back. Didn't really have the money at the time, and I think I should have probably found a way to find that money to pick that one up, because I don't think I'm going to get offered that game at that price again. But as I said, it wasn't just the stuff that you saw in the window that was great. There's some really good stuff in these glass cabinets as well. Just saw that really nice Final Fantasy based Steelbook. I don't care for RPGs, and Final Fantasy obviously falls into that category. So it didn't really have much interest to me. If it was at a cheaper price, I'd probably chuck it in there just to add to the Steelbook collection. It's a game that I'd be spending £15 to £20 on. I'd probably never play. Yeah, I've done that many times. I think we all have as collectors, but sometimes you got to use a bit of logic. Dino Crisis 3. I did consider picking this one up today. Not too sure if I'm going to or not. Again, we'll make our mind up towards the end of the video. Now the PS2, as I've said many times, I'm kind of trying to stop buying for it. I'm running out of room on the shelves of the PlayStation 2 stuff. I keep finding stuff that I'm either looking for or didn't know existed. And there was a game here that I'll show you now that I didn't pick up. I'll let you know. It's £38. It's the World Heroes Anthology. But you know what? I think I'm already having a bit of buyer's regret on this one. It's very rare that I see this one out. I've only ever seen this at a couple of gaming markets. I've never seen it personally in a retro game shop or a CEX up until today. I think what stopped me on the day is it was £38 to play 4 games that I've got multiple ways of playing already, whether it's on emulation, on compilations that I already own. So that kind of stopped me, but looking back at this footage now, I kind of wished I did pick that one up. It would have been a real nice addition to the PlayStation 2 collection. Got Piglet's big game there. Who remembers when that absolutely went a bit bonkers due to a Silent Hill rumour? Thankfully, that whole shenanigans has calmed down now, and the game is getting down to a price where it should be. It should be back at £2 to £3, to be honest with you, but there's still obviously some people that see some value in it. Nothing on the Wii U that I needed today for the full set. Disappointing, but still it's getting very difficult to find stuff that I need as we edge towards the end. I think I need about 38 to 40 games in the collection now, so yeah, it is the more obscure ones, and I hate to say it, the more embarrassing ones that I do need. And a decent selection on the GameCube, to be honest, and I would have picked this one up today if it wasn't a reprint. At £6, I doubt I would have played it much at all, but it was just something I would have liked to have had in the collection. But there's no way you're getting me to buy one of those dirty cover reprints. Now, straight up, I will tell you, the Wii section, as much as I love digging through it, looking for gems, because there are gems on this system, dead. Absolutely nothing of note here that I wanted today. I'm not going to say it's disappointing, because I wasn't really looking for anything on the Wii today. When I do go out and find stuff on the Wii, I'm never actually actively hunting it. It's kind of like, wow, look what I've found today. No, no, no. Don't get any ideas on future videos. That will be a bad idea. So we've got Switch 2 sections already, although obviously there's not a great deal available on the system. So it's merged currently with the original Switch stuff. I'm sure that will change over time. But we're seeing stuff out and about now for sale, and again, I'm starting to believe from the people that I talk to that a lot of this stuff is down to the franchise actually bringing it in brand new, not necessarily trade-ins. So when people are saying, oh, this stuff is getting traded in quick, don't necessarily believe it, because CEX owners, if they're franchise based, they'll bring in stuff brand new themselves. Now, all in all, pretty decent selection on the Nintendo Switch here, but nothing that I was really looking for, nothing that caught my eye, so I wasn't going to be walking away today with anything for that system. Anyway, let's get into the pickups today, and I only picked up 2 games. And you get yourself a bonus Cadbury's Cream Egg for next Easter, not this year, they're out of date now. If you guessed what franchise, what IP I'm going to be collecting next, and that is the Ratchet and Clank games. So I started off today with this one on the PS4, which I believe is kind of a reboot tied in with the animated movie. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Nice cheap entry into the system. And yeah, I'll be picking up more Ratchet and Clank games as we go along. Now, I had 2 choices to pick up on this Back 4 Blood Steelbook. I was walking around with one, ready to pick it up, and then when I got it in the light, it really showed a lot of dents. So I went back, hopeful that the other one would be in good condition, and it actually was in better condition. So I did pick up one of these. I won't be in a rush to play it, in all honesty. I've already played through it, and like I said, it's not the greatest game in the world, but I think this is one of the more attractive steelbooks that you can find out there. Now, the good thing about it currently is CEX do not separate the steelbook price from the standard game price, which is kind of why I picked it up today. I think if you was to see this at a retro gaming shop or maybe a gaming market, they will be selling it at what they consider to be a collector's edition type price. Not so today, so yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection. So yeah, guys, that was Uxbridge CEX. It was a good time down there. I really enjoyed the day out itself with my good friend Roy. He picked a couple of bits up as well. So it was a decent trip, worthwhile. The shop itself was really, really good. Unexpected. I didn't have high expectations. But yeah, there were some really good bits in there. I'm happy with what I came away with. I think Roy is as well. The staff as well, really friendly. It's always a difference maker when you go to a shop with really good, friendly staff. So yeah, that was a bonus as well. So yeah, that was Uxbridge CEX in July 2025. I'll definitely be going back there. It's a bit of a mission for me, but I don't mind traveling when the shops are as good as what you've seen today. So tune in next week when we will be going to Ruislip CEX, which is on the way home, and me and Roy also picked up a couple of bits from there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.